Ay, 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 ay. Look, baby girl love my bop and unlike me too. No roof on my top and my babe see-through. Hating on the pen, don't stop, shit ain't gon' feed you. I been all on my grind, so why I need you? Baby girl love my bop and unlike me too. No roof on my top and my babe see-through. Hating on the pen, don't stop, shit ain't gon' feed you. I been all on my grind, so
What's poppin' YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're actually gonna be tackling the driver's side Ikon headlight that I talked about in a previous video. For those of you guys that don't know, this car is a 2017 BMW F8 competition that came with the adaptive LED halos, but I retrofitted these Ikon LEDs in. I bought them used off a Beamer post and retrofitted them and had them coated, installed them myself. But come to find out, the past couple months, I've noticed that like when I wash the car, there's slight condensation that fills up in the film. So that to me means like part of the seal on the bottom, there's an opening or something's loose. So what we're gonna do today is we're gonna take this bad boy out. Should be pretty fun. We're gonna seal it with this clear caulk that I got, and then hopefully that'll fix the condensation buildup problem that we're having. This is 100% waterproof caulk, by the way. Got it from Lowe's, and I also saw a couple of videos on YouTube with people having the same problem using this, so I think this should work. I'm really not looking forward to taking my headlight out again, but it is what it is. Got to take care of it because I live in Florida, and as you guys can see, overcast, and when it rains, the condensation builds up as well, and obviously I don't want that to keep happening because I want to be able to wash my car, drive in the rain. I live in Florida, and I don't want the condensation to keep building up and that affect any modules or electrical issues. So I want to go ahead and take care of this now and fix it and have that peace of mind. As always, thank you guys for clicking on this video. Make sure you hit that thumbs up, subscribe for future content. Also, shout out to my boys at BMW Invasion and their event they're hosting in February. I hope to see all of you guys there. The plan of action is I'm going to jack up the driver's side, take off the wheel, take off the fender liner, pop the hood, take it off from the top as well, and then I'm gonna try to avoid taking off the bumper today as much as I can. I think I'll get away with it, but we'll see. I'm not gonna bore you guys with a step-by-step DIY, but I'll give you guys updates along the way, and hopefully we can get this headlight out with no issues. Also, give you guys an official update on the YouTube channel. Your boy copped a Sony a7 III for Black Friday. Up in the game for B-roll photography on the car page. You already know, investing into the channel, but not really. I really wanted this. I've been wanting this for a long time. I really wanted it mostly for photography on my IG, but obviously I can use it for the channel as well, for vlogging and especially B-roll. So glad to be part of the gang, Sony gang. You guys know where you're at. But yeah, super happy about this purchase. I know it's gonna be a long-term investment for me, so I'm super happy with it. Can't wait to go shoot with it, start doing some B-roll, get a gimbal, get some new lenses. It never ends. This stuff never ends. Just like the camera mods never end, just like the car mods. You guys relate? Alright, to give you guys an update, we jacked the car up. We got a couple jack stands underneath. We took the driver's side wheel off. We took the driver's side fender liner off. And now the driver's side headlight slash Ikon is exposed. It's held in by a T30 right here, and then another T30 way back there. You guys can barely see it right there from the bottom side. And then on top, it's held in by like a little T25, I think, right here. And then a 10mm bolt right there. So the plan of action is to undo the bottom side and then loosen up the top side, and then I'm gonna undo all these T25s or T20s right here to loosen up the top of the bumper, and then hopefully I can just slide the headlight right out. Again, I'm really trying to avoid taking off my bumper. It's kind of a pain in the ass to put back by yourself, but again, I'll keep you guys updated. Overall, it's not too bad. I'm trying to work pretty quick today, so I can go back to relaxing and enjoying my Saturday. Overall, not a bad job, and it's not a hard job at all. I did all this stuff within like 10 minutes, so if you guys, you know, want to wrench on your own car, it's really not that bad. YouTube taught me everything. Let's go. All right, back with another update for you guys. I actually just unscrewed the fender to give me more play with the bumper. As you guys can see, the headlight is moving, but unfortunately for me, I have a seized bolt in the back that won't come out. I had the same problem when I was installing this headlight, but that bolt right there is stuck. There's a little bracket behind it that basically is allowing it to spin freely no matter which way you go. If you loosen it or tighten it, it's just spinning. And really the only way to get behind that bracket is to take off the bumper, take off the front lip, which I really don't want to do right now. So I think for plan B, nothing ever goes as expected, as you guys know, but I think for plan B, I'm actually going to take the clear caulk and carefully go by hand around the edges. I actually think I know where the leak is coming from. It's actually on the bottom side of the headlight. I don't know if you guys will be able to see this, but right down there, exactly right there, there's kind of an opening that doesn't look like it should be there. Again, it looks like it's been kind of used and abused a little bit. So I'm gonna just take the clear caulk and go around the edges as much as I can with the headlight still intact. That's gonna be what we're gonna do now because of that seized bolt. It's very hard for you guys to see, but in person, I think that is the culprit, because whenever I spray around here when I'm washing my car, it starts to seep in from the bottom. So I think that's where I'm gonna focus all my attention today, but I'm also gonna work around the other seals as well with the clear caulk. Okay, so here's the caulk that I'm using. It's called Lexel. It's clear, waterproof, 100%. And we're gonna go really slowly. I'm gonna use my finger, maybe a Q-tip as well, but I'll catch up with you guys after. All right, so we just got done caulking the outer rim. If you guys can see, it is a clear caulk, so it's kind of hard to see. I was pretty generous with how much I was using, but I was extremely generous down here. As you guys can see, it looks really ugly, but honestly, if there's no more condensation leak, no more water leak, then I'm okay with it. I basically ran the caulk around the outer edge and used Q-tips and my finger to smooth it out and then fill all the gaps. It's hard to see all around, but it's done. And now I'm gonna let it dry, but I'm also gonna put back the car. So fingers crossed, hopefully this is the fix. We'll find out next time it rains or when I wash my car. But yeah, time to put the car back together and finish up this DIY. All right, we are back in action. Again, you can't really see any of the residue or the caulk, which is good, but I'm gonna clean up the lens obviously with some isopropyl alcohol and then some quick detailer, just like that. Car's back on the ground, wheel is on, everything's torqued down to spec. Again, I don't think a lot of people are going to run into this problem. It is a common thing, especially with other vehicles, older cars. I hope you guys never run into this issue like me. Save you some time, save you some money. I got my helpers, Asin and Kona, as always, in the garage. Always a vibe with them. But I'm checking in with you guys a week or two a little later, because after we put that seal around the outer edge of the headlight, which I actually took off yesterday, I found out that that wasn't the problem. That wasn't causing the leak. I drove through some rain on the way to Fort Myers, Florida during Thanksgiving, and there was no water that built up, no condensation came into the headlight itself or the lens. So I thought the sealant that we put on earlier in this video was the fix. However, that wasn't the fix. I went to wash my car actually with my new pressure washer that I'll eventually make a video on once I get this headlight situation figured out. I was going to wash my car with my new pressure washer and foam cannon, and all of a sudden a bunch of condensation built up within the lens. So that's when I knew that the lens seal itself is fine. There had to be more to it. So what I did last night, which I'll show you guys right now, have you guys notice My car is outside the garage. We're actually going to be filming another video, a separate video today with Danny. We're going to be installing some parts on his F8 M3. But if you guys remember, I did not want to take off my bumper earlier in this video, but I ended up taking it off last night, as well as the front lip, which happened to stay on the front bumper. But yeah, we took out the Ikon headlight on this side. It honestly wasn't that bad since I've done it before. I just took off like the fender liner, took off the wheels. I actually bought another jack, so it made the job so much easier. I pretty much got the bumper and everything and the headlight off in like probably an hour, so it wasn't too bad. But yeah, that is my current situation right now. My car is a mess. I got a second jack, which made working on the car so much easier because I was able to jack up both sides. And when it came to like taking off the lip and the bumper itself, getting underneath, because my car is so low, it made it so much easier. Like I said, the whole job was like 10 times faster than before when I only had one jack. So super happy about that. But as you guys can see, my bumper is just chilling. And so what actually happened to the headlight was the lens seal itself around was fine. There's actually a crack underneath here in the actual plastic of the headlight itself. So what we're going to be doing today is plastic welding the plastic together and super gluing. Okay, so I was explaining the headlight situation, but my fiance, everybody, wanted to be a part of the video with her fuzzy socks on the new jack. What I was trying to say is we are actually going to be plastic welding that hole shut using a soldering iron right here. We also have some super strong Gorilla Glue to close up any seals, and we also are going to be sealing that at the end with what we use at the beginning of this video right here. So I'm hoping the combination of all three of those should fix that little hole and plastic leak. I could have got this done at a shop, but I probably wouldn't have my car for like 2 weeks probably. And we also have some sanding paper to make it smooth, and then some steel woolly to reinforce the plastic welds that we're going to be making. I've never done this before, but it's my first time, so it seems really easy on YouTube, so that's why I decided to go this route. And I'd rather just do it myself, learn, rather than paying somebody. To give you guys a better look on what I was talking about, we have a more than a hairline crack right there in the plastic tab that goes into the headlight. So basically every time I was washing the car, the water would seep down to the bottom. This is actually the bottom of the headlight, and then it would condensate up into the lens. So yeah, that was every time I washed the car and every time rain got in here as well. So what we're gonna do is try to plastic weld this. We're gonna try to add some more plastic as well. But yeah, I actually think when I bought this Ikon headlight last fall, or whenever I did, I think this hole was already here, but I guess over time it just got a little worse. Because I kind of remember this being here when I first bought the headlight. I just don't remember it being like that bad. So hopefully we can repair this. Like I said, I'm doing everything that I can so I don't have to buy another Ikon headlight, because those are pricey. And yeah, this is the exact same one that we actually replaced the module on. So hopefully we can remedy this and bring it back to life. Again, this is my first time doing the plastic welding, but I already started on a couple of the tabs that were kind of loose and flimsy and kind of were breaking off, like these two. So I already started plastic welding those, and again, it's my first time and it's pretty easy and pretty straightforward. I just need to reinforce them a little bit, but I basically super glued them on first and then started plastic welding around them, creating a nice bond. And I still need to work on this, but that is the same game plan that I'm going to be doing for this main crack and main hole. To give you guys another angle, this is the tab that I already practiced like my first time doing the plastic welding on, and used some super glue as well. And it feels pretty stable, pretty solid, but I'm definitely going to probably reinforce it some more, as well as this tab that screws into the top of the bumper. This one was really loose, but I plastic welded underneath, under here, over here, and then also used some super glue as well. But again, the main concern is the big gaping hole underneath, so we're going to get to that a little later. So basically you have this soldering gun. You can have a wireless one or cordless one. Mine's wireless, but essentially you just want to heat this up. It takes about like 30 seconds. And then let's say you have a gap from this tab and here. You basically are combining the plastics together by melting it and creating a bond and creating a seal. And if you need more plastic, you can add some by, they have other materials you can use to bond them, or in this case, I'm using a black zip tie. So I'm melting the black zip tie and meshing the plastics together. And that's basically it. It's pretty simple. And then to reinforce it, after you do that, you can add some steel wool as like a steel reinforcement like they do in rebar. And again, I'm going to use maybe super glue as well as that clear sealant over there that we used earlier in this video. All right, checking in with you guys. Danny actually just left. My car is pulled back in. We just installed his 3D design side skirts. So that video probably came out before this one. We are back on the welding table, AKA my work desk. And we are back to work with the soldering gun. We have the zip tie I mentioned a little earlier in this video, steel woolly, and Gorilla Glue for that last minute reinforcement. But to give you guys another update on what I'm doing right now, I actually had some pliers lodged into the big gaping hole right here, and that allowed the plastic to move towards me. And then as you guys can see, I plastic welded with the soldering gun, all these little weak points over here, close up this hole, close up that hole, and then all that is left is, don't know if it'll focus, but that big hole right there. And I'm gonna be filling that in with obviously some steel wool, this zip tie as well. But to recap, what I did a little earlier was I reinforced this tab right here, which holds in the top of the headlight with the 10mm bolt. I reinforced that with a bunch of plastic welding as well as steel woolly and super glue, and thing is solid. It was like literally bending downwards when I took the headlight out, so that thing was about to break. But now I have utter confidence that it's gonna stay in. And then the same thing with this headlight tab over here that connects it to the bumper. It was moving as well. And then same process, steel woolly, plastic weld, super glue. Again, super easy. All you do is heat up the soldering gun, wait for it to heat up, and then you can either connect two pieces of plastic together by melting it together, sliding it over, kind of doing like a Frankenstein design. Or if the hole's too big, kind of like this one, I'm going to be adding plastic as filler to fill that gap. And then I'm going to do that very slowly until the hole is filled up. And then I'm going to reinforce everything with steel wool. And then I'm going to super glue everything as like a final seal. So yeah, I'll catch up with you guys when I get this hole filled up. All right, I moved the headlight over here to give you guys a better idea of what the hell I am doing. If you are lost and confused, I mean, this is my first time, so sorry if I'm not doing a good job explaining, but I kind of wanted to do this off camera because it's my first time. Wanted to make sure I did it right, and as everybody knows, vlogging takes forever. But what you guys are looking at is, your boy's first welding job. Might have to open up a shop for janky muffler deletes. Hit me up if you guys need me. But if you guys can see there, looks like I closed that big ass hole that was right here. With the zip tie. This was my first go around, so my first coat, I guess you can say. I obviously don't have a smoke machine to do a leak test, but I do have a handy dandy blow dryer, hair dryer for my fiance. And what was happening yesterday was I was drying out the headlight through that hole to get the water away from the lens, but air was going out through here, which is where the wire harness goes. So in theory, if I plugged one hole and air was escaping from the other one, there should be no air escaping over here. And if there is, I'll be able to see where I need to focus more of my attention and obviously patch up some more. So that's what we're gonna do right now. I'm not even kidding. I didn't feel any air escaping from right there, which is obviously where the main leak was coming from. So that is good news. I think we're making progress. Again, easy DIY. Hopefully you guys understand what I'm doing. I am saving money, and I'm also teaching myself how to fix small issues, or actually this is a pretty major issue. I think my weld job is holding up. We're gonna continue to reinforce it and also make sure there's no leaks. All right, test number 2. We're gonna use some compressed air that I use to clean my keyboard, and we're gonna insert the nozzle into where the wire harness goes and see if we feel any air coming out. Nothing. Let's go. That's amazing news. Now I gotta reinforce this some more for sure. It is now nighttime, and I am now test fitting the light back in. So I think I showed you guys, I did patch up that hole. I let it dry overnight. I reinforced it with steel wool, and then I sealed it again with some super glue. So I think that should work, and that is why we're testing out the headlight in right now. Did a air test and a water test, and as you guys saw, it passed. So I think I have confidence putting it back in now. So now I'm just gonna take off the wheel, put the headlight back in, align it up, screw everything in, and then probably tomorrow we'll put the bumper on. So I'll catch up with you guys tomorrow. It is the next morning and we just test fitted the bumper onto the car. Haven't drilled anything in yet, but everything looks good. Everything's mocked up. I also put some painter's tape on the bumper, obviously to protect the paint. But Ikon headlight is in, bumper is about to be in, and then we should wrap this one up. Probably gonna be a long video, but this was some unforeseen circumstances, to say the least. And just like that, front bumper's back on. We got the wheels on. We got the front lip also on. And then over here, the headlight that we were working on throughout this video. I just did another spray test after I closed the hood, just to make sure no condensation builds up. Make sure we are buttoned up. And then if that passes, which I think it will, I'm going to give the car a wash with my new pressure washer and foam cannon. Little sneak peek for you guys. That's gonna be a future video, so stay tuned for that. But yeah, putting back the car, honestly taking off the bumper and putting everything back is not that bad. Because I bought a second jack, it made everything so much easier, especially getting under the car and installing the lip again. It just made everything so much easier. Highly recommend if you guys can, get 2 jacks, makes everything so much easier. But we also have a ladder right here because we just hung up some Christmas lights. But yeah, I'm super happy to have my car back. And again, we're gonna give it a little wash right now and then wrap up this video. All right, my car is actually clean, so I decided not to wash it, but I did test out the pressure washer and foam cannon on my fiance's car, her 2013 Kia Forte. If you guys can see, thing is squeaky clean now. I don't even remember the last time she washed her car. But yeah, decided to test out the foam cannon on her car, and then my car's already clean. But like I said, we'll be doing a review on the pressure washer and the foam cannon. It's like a starter kit, it's like a beginner's pressure washer, but it does the job clearly, and I'm super stoked to have it. But that is gonna wrap up this week's video. I don't even know how long this video is gonna be. Just know that I had a leak in my Ikon headlight, and instead of going to a body shop or buying a whole new headlight, I decided to fix it myself. Yeah, this video might be all over the place. I don't even know what I'm gonna title it, but if you made it this far, I appreciate you. We'll see you on next week's video. Make sure you hit that thumbs up, subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one. Peace.
Baby girl love my bop and unlike me too. No roof on my top and my babe see-through. Hating on the pen, don't stop, shit ain't gon' feed you. I've been all on my grind, so why I need you.